Happy morning, students. In this class, we discuss about floating and sinking and applications of a principle of floating. Here, think about why the objects are floating or sinking in the liquid medium. So, when we put in the object in the liquid medium, the density of the object is less than the density of the liquid. The object is floating. Suppose the density of the object is more than the density of the liquid, so the object is sinking. So this is the reason for the object of floating and sinking. Main reason for the density of the object and density of the liquid. For example, we have taken into the small piece of wood and it is immersed into the liquid. It is floating or sinking. It is floating because the density of the wood is less than the density of the liquid. But we have taken into the stone. It is immersed into the liquid. It is also sinking, not floating, because the density of the stone is more than the density of the liquid. So it is sinking. So density is the main reason for the object of floating and sinking. So next we have see about applications of principle of flotation. First one is hydrometer. First one is hydrometer. Hydrometer is an instrument. It is used to measure the density or relative density measured to the instrument. So hydrometer is the instrument. It is used to measure the density or relative density of the liquid. That is called hydrometer. It is consists of a cylindrical stem. At the lower end of the cylindrical stem, it consists of a spherical bulb. First, the hydrometer consists of a cylindrical stem, and the lower end of the cylindrical stem consists of the spherical bulb. Spherical bulb. The cylindrical stem at the upper end consists of the narrow tube. Narrow tube. So, the spherical bulb contains the lead shots or mercury. So, the lead shots and mercury used to be testing the liquid. The hydrometer is floating or stand vertically in liquids. The lead shots and mercury is used to the float or stand vertically in liquids. But the narrow tube has markings so that relative density of a liquid can be read directly in the narrow tube. So when liquid medium is tested, so that is contained in a glass jar. it is poured into the glass jar. The hydrometer is immersed into a liquid medium. So we are putting into the hydrometer in the liquid. The hydrometer is floating, but the reading against the level of the liquid touching the tube gives the relative density of the liquid. So first, what medium we tested poured into the glass jar, and gently the hydrometer is immersed into the liquid medium. So we directly calculate the density of the liquid. So hydrometers are maybe calibrated for different uses, for such as how to lactometers are for measuring a density of milk, and the saccharometers for measuring the density of the sugar, and alcohol meter for measuring higher levels of alcohol in sprites. Same for the hydrometers may be calculated for different uses in our daily lives. So hydrometer is a instrument. It is used to measure the density or relative density of the liquid medium. So the hydrometer is based on the principle of flotation. Flotation. The hydrometer principle is based on the flotations. That is, the weight of the liquid displaced by immersed portion of the hydrometers is equal to the weight of the hydrometer. Next, we see about lactometer. Lactometer is also an instrument. People generally buy milk from the milk dairy farms. Sometimes people start doubting the sellers. They tell them that there is some water mixed in the milk. Some milkmen, having a good reputation, try to satisfy their customers by using an instrument. The name of the instrument is lactometer. The lactometer is used to measure the purity of milk or amount of water added in the milk. So, the lactometer is used to measure the purity of milk or amount of water added in the milk. So, the lactometer is a cylindrical vessel which is made up of glass. Lactometer is a cylindrical vessel which is made up of glass. It is made up of glass. You see in the pictures, you understand that clearly. Glass. It consists of two parts. One part is like a bulb, while the other part is a thin tube also having a scale. So it consists of two parts. One is one part is like a bulb. The next one is thin tube. Thin tube. In a simple lactometer, there are four marks on the thin tube by which we are able to know the purity of the milk. For testing the milk, its one side having a bulb like structure is dipped inside the milk. So, bulb like structure is dipped inside the milk. So, just after dipping it in the milk, we see that milk start to rise the thin tube. Suppose after dipping the meter inside the milk has reached to 3 marked on the scale. It means that the container milk contains 70% of water and 25% of milk in it. So we are using in this lactometers because we are daily using and drinking milk. நம்ம டெய்லி லைஃப்ல கூட இதை நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். ஏன்னா எவ்வளோ வாட்டர் வந்து அதில் ஆட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, எவ்வளோ மில்க் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறதுக்கு நம்ம இந்த லாக்டோமீட்டரை யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் நம்ம வீட்டில் கூட. ஆனால் இது வந்து ரொம்ப காஸ்ட்லிலாம் இல்லை, ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கம்மியான ரேட்டு தான், நம்ம வாங்கக்கூடிய ரேட்டில் தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ யூஸ் பண்ணுறதா இருந்தால் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மோஸ்ட்லி வந்து இந்த மில்க் மேன்லாம் வந்து இதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. ஏன்னா வந்து நம்ம சில பேர்லாம் நினைப்பாங்கல்ல, நம்மளுடைய கஸ்டமர் வந்து மில்க் வந்து இவ்வளோதான் தண்ணி இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நினைப்பாங்க. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கஸ்டமர் நம்ம கிட்ட வரணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்காக பாலில் வந்து வாட்டர் ஆட் பண்ணக்குள்ள இந்த இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட் வச்சு டெஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க, எவ்வளோ வாட்டர் ஆட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ அது மூலயமா வந்து என்ன பண்ணலாம், இவ்வளோதான் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிப்பாங்க. ஸோ இந்த லாக்டோமீட்டர் வந்து எதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது, இனிமேல் பியூரிட்டி ஆஃப் மில்க் வந்து செக் பண்ணுறதுக்கு நமக்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது. So let's see about buoyancy. Now we see about buoyancy. Let's take a bucket of water and put a bottle over the water. This bottle is empty, just having air inside it. If there is no bucket, then it would have fallen straight to the ground due to its own weight. Because there is a gravity of earth will pull it towards the ground. But here some fluid in the form of water is present. There is some upward force of water stopping the bottle over it. If we push the bottle down, we can feel the upward force acting on the bottle, which is helping in its flotation. So this upward force is the buoyant force. So we feel that the upward force acting on the bottle, which is helping to the water bottle, is flotation. So the upward force is the buoyant force. The process of upward force exerted by any fluid upon a body placed in it is known as buoyancy. So the process of the upward force extracted by any fluid upon a body placed in it, that is buoyancy. So the buoyant force comes from the pressure extracted on the object by the fluid. So the buoyant force comes from the pressure extracted. So the pressure extracted on the object by the fluid. We also know that the pressure on the bottom of an object is always larger than the force on the top. They already know that. The differences in this pressure result in a net upward force on the object, which defines as buoyancy. If suppose the buoyancy force is will be more, the object is will be floated. So the object is known as a positively buoyant. But the object is the buoyant force is more, the object will sink. So this is negatively buoyant. So the buoyant force will be more. The object is float on the liquid medium. So it is the positively buoyant. The buoyant force will be less. The object is sink. So this is negatively buoyant. These are the buoyancy. Buoyancy force. Next we see about Cartesian river. So this is the experiment. The principle is based on the buoyancy. The principle is based on the buoyancy. We have already discussed about buoyancy. So this experiment is based on the principle of buoyancy. First, we have taken into the bathtub and filled with the water, and the balance volume is filled with the air. So immersed into the bathtub, clay with pen cap, clay with pen cap immersed into the bath. First it is have a floating, but when pressing the bath, the additional waters enter into the river, so they increasing the average density of the river. So it is sink. First we do not press the bath, so it is a float. The first picture indicates that principle. The next one is we are pressed into the bath, so the excess of water is filled into the clay with pen. So the clay with pen is immersed into the liquid. So this is the principle of the Cartesian river. So next one is Archimedes principle. The scientist, one day he was bathing in a tub. When he entered the tub, some amount of water came outside. All of you feel that suppose we are enter into the river, some of the water into flows upward directions. யாராவது அந்த மாதிரி இடத்துல போய் குளிச்சிருந்தா கண்டிப்பா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். இல்லைன்னா டப்லாம் கூட நீங்க குளிச்சிங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கே தெரியும். நம்மளோட வெயிட் வந்து அதுக்குள்ள போகும்போது என்ன பண்ணுவோம், வாட்டர் வந்து வெளியே வரும். ஸோ சேம் எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் ஃபார் தி scientist do it. So he got an idea which is known as the Archimedes principle. This principle states that the upward buoyant force on the object is equal to the weight of the object. Weight of the object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. So the Archimedes principle is stated that the upward buoyant force on the object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. So this is the Archimedes principle. So by doing this, the weight of the body in the fluid will change, and this is called apparent weight. So, and this apparent weight of the body is equal to the difference between actual weight and the Bayonnet force. The apparent weight of the body in terms of density of the liquid and the submerged object is as given. Then the sign of apparent weight will be positive. Then the object will sink inside the liquid. How to be seen about the buoyancy positively and negatively buoyant? Same for the disease. When the sign of apparent weight will be positive, then the object will sink inside the liquid. And when the sign of apparent weight will be negative, then the object will float on the surface of the liquid. So this is means that the object density will be lower than the density of the liquid. The body will be float on the surface of the liquid. So we can say that ships float on the water because its density is lower than the water. So ships are float on the water. So there are given to the two law of flotations are. So first law is the weight of a floating body in a fluid is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. That means that when the floating body in the fluid that is equal to the how much of the fluid is displaced by the body. There are two are equal. This is the law number one. The next one is the center of gravity of the floating body and the center of buoyancy are the same in vertical line. So when of what is the float in the fluid, this is the center of gravity is equal to the buoyancy. Center of buoyancy. These two are the same vertical line. So this is the two laws for the flotations. The point through which the force of buoyancy is supposed to act as center of buoyancy. So in this class we have discussed about floating and sinking and applications and the principle of flotation, hydrometer, how to measure the using hydrometer and lactometer, and buoyancy. What is the buoyancy and the buoyancy force? Next one is the Cartesian river and Archimedes principle and the laws of flotations. There are unit 3 is completed. There are we are completed to the 5 units. Physics 3 lessons and chemistry 2 lessons are we are completed. Any doubt for the 5 units? Ask me. Thank you, student.